I'm Liz with iHeart for Books, and I am going to be finishing up Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky. It's taken me way too long to finish this book, so I'm determined to finish it today. And so that is my goal for today. Then I am going to start on my Black-a-thon first book. And I got this cute little book sleeve yesterday from Amazon. I bought it off Amazon, and it is by L. Parkins Designs. Isn't it cute? I thought it was cute, and it was perfect for February and Valentine's Day. And then I also have this lovely novel companion that is by Little Inklings Design, and I got it like a week ago. And I know I'm like late to the party. She also has like bookish planners, but those are all sold out already. And I wish I had known about her before, and I would have gotten one. So I guess I gotta wait till next year, 2021, to get one. But it's very, very cute. It's a novel companion. And you have the first page where it's this belongs to, and then she has like quotes and goals. And she also has this in her planner, and then she has the bookshelf, and then it's challenges, and then books to buy. She also has movies and TV shows, and then you have quotes, and then you have a series tracker, and then another quote, and then top 5 reads, and a coloring page, and then you come to the monthly things. And this is basically like a condensed version of the planner, which I like. And so I started in February. So this is my February calendar and things that I've read so far in February. And you have the TBR list. That's my TBR list. And then new releases that have come out this month. And of course I haven't gotten to wrap up. And this is my bookish haul. And I actually need to add some books to it that I have gotten yesterday. So I guess eventually I will do that sometime today. So, alright, so after I finish reading Tristan Strong, I don't have too much left of it. I'm like, let's see, I'm on page 391, and it's like a 400 almost 500 pages. I mean, yeah, 500. Yeah, so I have this much left to read. You can see, that's how much left I have to read. This is, for a middle grade book, this is a lot. And you can see I tabbed it up. Then I want to get into this graphic novel called Naomi. And it looks like it's about superheroes, so I am so for that. So I have to finish one thing before I get to the next thing. Alright, so on to Tristan Strong. And I'm going to put in some music now. I'm going to put on some music. Okay, so I'm on chapter 45. All right. So I just realized that I haven't really even talked about the story. So Tristan Strong, I love this cover. It's so cute. I want to actually spray these pages. Like, I want to spray this book and decorate it, but I'm not that great of an artist. Okay. So basically, all right. So this is a Rick Riordan present book, basically. So you know it's already, because it's required, so you already know that it's about myths. Now these are about African myths and folk tales and I guess history, which I like because I actually never knew really any of the African folk stories, because my ancestors, my grandparents never told me any of them. But you know, which just goes to show you how lost some of our history really is, which is pretty sad. And I thought this was perfect read, especially for Black History Month. So anyway, Tristan Strong is a 12-year-old boy who is a boxer. His grandfather boxed and his father boxed, I believe. And he was told African folk tales from his grandmother, who basically knew all of them because they were passed down from her generation to, so I guess I'm assuming that, you know, they were passed down through her family line. And so of course she told her grandchild, and that got him into reading. So he loves to read, and he's a storyteller himself in a way. And then he met his best friend Eddie, who was also into African folk tales, and that's how they became friends. They bonded over that one day. And so we start off the book, and Lord Jesus, Tristan had lost his friend Eddie, but he had gifted him this leather notebook, or journal rather, that had all of the African stories, folklore that, or folk tales rather, that Tristan's grandmother had told him. So because he wrote them down, because he wanted to have them written down, because back in slavery times, the stories were never written down, of course, because, you know, most slaves couldn't read or write, but they could tell stories of how things happen, why, you know, the land is the land, why the birds in the sky are here, things like that. You know, of course, every culture has their own folklore. So they were going to write a project. They were going to do a project together where Tristan told the stories and Eddie wrote the report or whatever. But Eddie had died. And so that's not a spoiler, because you learn that within the first few pages. So, and I think it's also part of, yeah, so it's also on the summary, so it's not a spoiler. So he loses his friend, and so he's dealing with that on top of everything, and he's a boxer. And so he gets shipped to his grandparents' farm, where the reason he's there is because he needs to basically he needs to deal with the loss of his best friend, unfortunately. And you know, his parents are concerned, everyone's concerned about him because of his loss, and he's not really taking it well, of course, because it's his best friend. So Eddie's mom had given Tristan Eddie's journals to have, because, you know, of course she knew Eddie would want him to have it. So then we meet Gum Baby. I love Gum Baby. Gum Baby is too funny. Gum Baby is this stick thing, I think, and made of sap or something like that. It's just too, Gum Baby is hilarious. Like, what is it? Sap attack. Cracked up laughing at it. That has me cracking up. Like, sap attack though, I can't. Oh, because she's like, of course, super sticky. And so anyway, so everyone wants the journal, Eddie's journal, but Tristan doesn't know why, and it doesn't really say why everyone wants this journal. And so so Gum Baby steals the journal, and so then of course, Tristan is like, you're not stealing my best friend's journal, give it back. So Tristan winds up chasing Gum Baby, and then makes the biggest mistake of his life by punching a hole in a bottle neck tree, I think that's what it's called. And so he punches a hole, and then gets transported into another world, I guess. So it's like the African folklore dimension is what it is. And so he's going on this quest to get back the journal, and he's trying to find they're trying to find a Nazi Sim, who is a god and a story weaver, I guess. And they're trying to as they're trying to do that, the planet, or the world, or whatever, is basically under attack, so from these dangerous creatures. And the problem is, Tristan realizes that he may have been the cause of these creatures basically coming to life and attacking the civilization. So that's where I am. So now I'm at the part where they're about to, I guess, battle the big bosses. And so, yes, so I just wanted to, you know, let you know what was going on. All right, back to reading. Yeah. Her for books. I know I look a hot mess, but that's only because I am enjoying my day off. So it is Monday, February 17th, and it is day 3 of Black-a-thon, and so I am reading Kingdom of Souls, and this is by Rena Barron. And so right now I am going to start reading, and I will be back. And so I'm going to go get me, I'm going to warm up my donut because I'm too lazy to make cereal. It was just so sad. So I'm going to warm up my donut that I got from Wawa's, and I'm going to make me some hot chocolate, only because I just like hot chocolate and I don't want coffee at the moment, so, or tea. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'll be back in a minute. Hello, and I'm back. All right, so I have my nice sticky donut, and I can't pick up because it's so hot, but my donut warmed up, and then my hot cocoa. Can't see it, see inside. Okay, I am all set and ready to start reading. My hands are now sticky from this donut, so that was a good idea, and I'm going to read this book. In hindsight, I'm thinking that I probably should just read this on my reader, because I kind of don't want to get my pages all sticky. Should I switch to my reader? Here is the book. Tap there. Bam. Part 1. Alright, so I'm now going to do some reading of my book, and I'll come back in a few minutes. Hopefully I'll have switched over to the actual book. Alright, see you then. Okay, so I'm back. That wasn't very long, I know. So far, I'm just like on the first page still, and she's talking about how there's I guess a lightning bug or something, and okay, so the magic touches everyone, but it doesn't touch everyone. It touches a few people, and then it skips 2. So for every one person it touches, it skips 2 other people. And I guess it's supposed to like go around the circle or whatever. And it never even reached her once, and she's kind of unsure about that. Like, she's like, what does that mean? And she's excited because she's becoming a true daughter of tribe Atari. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Okay, back to reading. And me being bad. Okay, so she's upset that she wasn't able to get power, or she hasn't got magic yet. Everyone else her age has magic. She can see the magic, but she hasn't received any magic, and she's thinking that it might have something to do with the fact that her mother is not actually from the same tribe. Her father's trying to reassure her, like, oh, don't you worry, babes, don't worry, honey, it'll eventually come when it's supposed to come. And she's like about to have a whole tantrum, like, well, when the hell is that supposed to happen? And then one of the little nasty little snotty girls is like, well, maybe you'll never get it. I'll be ready to slap her. I'll be ready to fight. The fight words right there. So I have to say, I'm kind of like, all right, so she's acting kind of like a little spoiled brat, because her grandmother, like, everyone keeps telling, like, wait, it doesn't matter if you don't have your magic now. One day it can come and you can be a very powerful witch doctor. But she's like, well, I don't want to wait until, a undisclosed time frame. I want it now, because I'm a spoiled brat, is what I'm thinking in my head. Because just chill out, girl. Like, all good things come to those who wait. But I guess patience is not a virtue in her world. See right here. See right here. Right here. She about to make a deal with the devil, because the woman done told her that so she bumped into this woman in the forest because she ran off like a spoiled little child, like a brat basically. she ran off from her grandmother, and she ran into the forest, and so she meets this woman in the forest. See, right there, you'll just go meeting people in the forest and having whole conversations with them, and she telling her that she didn't have magic either. And so she was like, well, how did you get your magic? She was like, well, you can obtain magic, but it depends on what kind of price you're willing to pay. See, right there, I would have been like, you know what, sis, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to this festival and hope and pray that my magic comes later at a different point in time in my life. But see, right here is the setup. You already know some ish about to go down, and she about to get something she don't really want. She wanted, but she didn't really realize what the price that she gonna have to pay for this, because girl, I can't. All right, back to my reading. Okay, so she didn't take the woman's advice. So this is some years later. So she's a little older now. And she still hasn't received her magical powers. And she's hoping, because this is basically her last chance to receive her powers, because no one after the age, I'm assuming maybe 16-ish, because it's within adulthood, and or maybe 17. I don't know. It's not specific. But apparently, so no one after that age range has received their powers. So this is basically her last shot, and she's hoping that Hika, the god, will bestow her with some magical powers, because she basically has magic on both sides of her lineage. Her mom has powers, I guess, and her dad has powers. So she's like, well, in theory, I should have power. I should be, I guess, more powerful. But that hasn't happened. But I mean, if you think about it, that's not necessarily the case, because just because both of your parents have powers, you may be the catalyst to not actually receive powers. But I don't know if that's where the story's going, so I gotta read more to figure that out. But this has to do the Orisha, the gods or whatever. That's what this story has a lot to do with. So that's interesting. I'm seeing a lot of books with this religious practice, because this book, Children of the Blood and Bone, and Pride also had a variation of this religious practice, or well, I guess it would be religious, the gods. But yeah, okay, back to reading. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I am Liz with I Heart for Books. And you know what's so funny is because I just realized that my channel's name is actually Liz for Books. Isn't that funny? Well, actually, that's pretty sad that I didn't know that the name of my channel was Liz for Books, but my email address is iHeartForBooks. So yeah, okay, so anyway, so it is now day 4 of Black-a-thon, and I am so sad to say that I did not get too far in Kingdom of Souls. I am actually on I only made it to chapter 4. I know. And so I need to make some headway in this book. But I also started Slay, which, look at this cover. This is such a beautiful, just a book. But here is the cover, and this book is by Brittany Morris. This is cute. But okay, so I am like, I think 4 chapters in, because I'm listening to the audio. So I listened to the audio of Slay on my way to work and home. So, but I wasn't able to start it until later, I guess a few hours ago, only because I had forgotten my earphones, my iPods at home. So that messed up my whole reading or listening to the book as I drove to work and drove home. So whatever. Although I could listen to, the audio without it, but I like to listen on my lunch break. But that didn't happen. So I am 4 chapters in. So I'm just 4 chapters. I guess that's just my, clearly my typical goal at this point. So I'm hoping to get at least a few more chapters of Kingdom of Souls in today. If not, I'm definitely going to get some more chapters of Slay in. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to actually start reading Kingdom of Souls. Since I listen to audio, I can just listen to that on my way. I'll just listen to that during my day. So Slay during the day and Kingdom of Souls when I get home. So I'm trying to knock out 2 books in a day, I guess. I don't know, in days. I don't know, whatever. But again, so day 4 of Black-a-thon. Here I go with the reading. Okay, so my battery's about to die, so I'm going to have to end it soon. But oh girl mama is such a bee. It is not even, it is, ugh, honey. If it was possible to reach through this book and slap her, I think I probably would. But my battery's gonna die, so I'm going to finish. Hello. Okay, and welcome back to my channel. I am Liz with I Heart for Books, or Liz, I think it's Liz for Books or something like that. But anyway, I'm Liz. Ha! I don't know, I'm so silly. I don't know, I'm so silly. Okay, so today is day. Hello, this is Liz, and I just wanted to say that I need to make a correction. It is actually day 5 of Black-a-thon, and there were 2 more days left until the end. Okay, back to the show. And so I finished Slay. As I had said before, I was listening to it on audio, and I was physically reading Kingdom of Souls, and for that I've only made it to I'm like halfway through chapter 6. I know, which is very interesting because I stayed up late yesterday reading and then fell asleep. So yeah, after my battery died and I was charging it, I did read some more, and as I was reading I fell asleep. So yeah, so I only made it through to midway through chapter 6, and I did that I guess earlier today on my lunch break. So that's how far I made it. So I finished listening to the audiobook of Slay by Brittany Morris. OMG, if you have not read this book, I do not know what you were waiting for. I actually had gotten an arc of this last year at BookCon. I don't know why it took me so long to get to this book, because now I feel like slapping myself because this book was everything. Yes, so basically Slay is a game. So black girl right here, homegirl, is amazing. Her name is Kira, and she created, yes, because Girls Can Code and Black Girl Magic for doing that coding. Okay, hello, yes, love. So she made a world of, what is it called? I can't think of what it's called. I should know because they talk about it in the book. What is it? Whatever, it's a digital world. So anyway, so it's a digital game that is basically simulations, and it puts you into the game. So Slay, where did that come from? Slay, was that Beyonce? A Beyonce thing? Slay? Slay. I slay all day. I think it was Beyonce's song. But anywho, or it was in her songs. Anyway, and of course, you know, it became, you know, a Black Girl Anthem, honey. You better slay, bitch. Anywho, so back to this book. Okay, so Kira, which is the main character, she created this virtual world, virtual reality for basically Black people. It's exclusive to Black people and the Black culture. And she did it because other digital games were basically like, you could have like a Black character, but your Black character were mainly like elves or something like really ugly and dark and just, you know, kind of degrading. And then you would have trolls on there that would just be real nasty about these characters, and you would get a lot of negative feedback about Black people, I guess, and which actually, in all honesty, happens in real life. So but the other game, the other virtual realities were basically geared more towards inclusion, but not really. It was more geared towards white gamers, but you know, Black gamers could be included, but you would basically have to hide your ethnicity, basically, to be something that to create a character that was basically not reflective on you in real life, or who you want to be in real life, because you know, in a game you can be whoever you want. You know, no one knows who you are in real life. So she created this world where basically it was exclusive only to Black people, and the only way you can be invited was through another gamer in the game. So, and it had like all kinds of Black history and Black affiliated things, like I think it was like a Bubba, what was that, Bubba, God, what is that sauce? Oh, Bubba Ray or something like that, the barbecue sauce. Oh my God, like, yes. I was like, honey, I was reading this, well, I was not reading, but I was listening to it. I was like, I'm getting hungry, because yes, and you talk about the potato salad. I was like, girl, yes. And you know, that one relative that, and then she was describing it, was like that one, you know, that everyone has it. You go to a family gathering, that one relative can't cook to save their lives, so they can only bring anything. If they bring anything, it gotta come from the store, because because they mess it up every time. Like, you wanna because they want to be different, so they want to put like some canned yams or whatever like in a potato salad. If you can't make potato salad, I'm telling you this now, if you cannot make potato salad, do not bring potato salad. Just go ahead and get you that good old grocery store potato salad, and let everybody talk about the grocery store, because you do not want to be that one person at the family function that they talk about, because you better believe it is there, because I've talked about many relatives and they cooking, honey. I be like, your Black heart is on the line with this, especially like some mac and cheese. For me, mac and cheese, I love me some mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese. It has to be cheesy. Everybody can't make it. I've tasted some people's mac and cheese, and I just like, and if you ask me how it tastes, I will go in. Like, if it's nasty, I'm going in. I'm talking about you to your face, behind your back. Everybody and their mama gonna know how bad your mac and cheese is. I'm telling you this now. So don't come to me with no nasty mac and cheese, because I'm talking about you, and I will tell you. And because mac and cheese is my thing. I'm telling you, it's my thing. But anyway, off topic. It's a whole nother topic. But anyway. So she created this world, and I honestly am like, yes, where was this kind of virtual reality world when I was growing up? Like, I would have loved it. Like, I would have definitely been all for gung-ho. So yes. And then, so what happens is a kid gets killed. He was a gamer. He was a member of the game, and he gets killed in real life. But that honestly was only because he did some shady things that he should have did in real life, which ended up getting him killed, because it also had to do with the game. And so a lot of people was throwing shade to the game, like, oh, this is gang affiliated, this is, you know, misappropriating Black culture, and it's making it negative. So Brittany made a lot of good points in this book, and I just was like, yes, for it. The one thing the person I did not like was the boyfriend, Malcolm. He was an a-hole for real. He was a Black supremacist, basically, and he was all for the problem was he was more for Black male power as opposed to Black people power altogether. But he claimed that he was for Black people, but he was really for Black male power, and then Black women after them to support the Black man instead of supporting each other, which should always be the case. And he felt in his mind, you know, Black women should be in their place, basically behind the Black man. However, Black women are strong, and no one should ever tell any Black woman different, okay? We are the backbones of every Black man. We raise them up. We try to be everything we can be for them, and then you still turn around, you have a-holes like that. But, you know, you can't save everybody. She learned that the hard way. Whatever. But, nonetheless, everything else, the family love in this book is amazing. I was living for her sister, honey. Yes, her sister was too funny. She was all I'm gonna say Martin Luther King, but she was laying it down and telling people what it was, like no. She was reading you like a book, honey, and she was telling you how it was and why this culture was for that. And then of course you had the white friends who would look to them to try to basically validate their decisions on if it was appropriate for, you know, or for a white person to do such as XYZ. Would it be offensive to black culture, or would it be offensive to Black people in general? But the thing is that she, you know, one Black person, and honestly, I have gotten that. I've seen that a few times. It's like one person does not dictate the whole Black culture, and so just because and Black people, every Black person is different, just like every white person is different, every Korean person, everything like that. Like everyone is different, every culture is different, everyone's views is different. So asking one Black friend about something that has to do with misappropriating the Black culture could be different, because she could be like, oh, it doesn't bother her in one small bit, but in the same, you know, turn of events, the next person might take the next Black person might take offense. Case in point, one time I was I had worked in a grocery store, hated it, side note, and this guy, he was white, and well, no, he wasn't white, he was Spanish, but he was like just learning, you know, the cultural references, you know, and he made a joke, but it was a joke that he heard from a Black comedian, and so he told it, he was telling the joke, not thinking that it was offensive at all. And so one black girl went off with him, and he didn't understand why she was going off of him, and because she went, she just like really just told him where he could go and everything under the sun, called him everything but a child of God, and put it to, you know, and he just looked confused because he didn't understand what was wrong with it, because all he knew was that it was a Black comedian said it, and all he did was repeat it, and he didn't know it was offensive, and in his mind it wasn't offensive at all, because you know, a Black person said it, so he repeated it thinking it was funny and thinking that, you know, it was okay. So she went off of him, and then another Black guy was like, he thought it was funny, and he explained to him why she had went off and why, you know, everyone is different. So exactly, the point is everyone has a different opinion and different views on different things. Now, if you know, that's just what it is. But this book was a lot. Malcolm was an a-hole again. I will reiterate that, and I just could not stand him. From the beginning, I couldn't stand him because it was just, I don't know, something about him just rubbed me the wrong way, because I've seen guys like that too, and it's just like, gotta be one, right? But anyway, and I did appreciate what he did to her, and it was just like, if that's love, what the heck is hate, you know? But that was what it was. But I would give this book, an honesty, 5 stars, because it's just amazing. And if you have not read this book, I'm telling you, you need to read this book. Listen to it on audio. I love the audio, honestly. And the cards that are they use in the game is hilarious. The ending, love it. But you need to slay. Hold on, what is it was something, hold on. And then she worked on this game for 3 years. 3 whole years. That's a long time. That's commitment and dedication. And she did it because she wanted, you know, Black people to have a safe space and be who they wanted to be, and they can be as light or as dark as they want to be, and it was no discrimination or how Black you are. You know, your Black card would be revoked. If you had a little Black in you, you was good. Just like this readathon, Black-a-thon. There you go. Just saying. Okay. Oh yes, and also on top of everything else, she goes to a predominantly white school that, I think it's a private school, and she basically is like the number of black kids you can basically count on maybe one hand, and then you have the different other minority groups, but the minority is a small majority of the school basically. And so that was also really important to her, why she created Slay, because she definitely wanted something where she could just be who she was. She didn't have to be someone else. She didn't have to be Kira, the whiz kid, and the, you know, the black kid, because basically in Slay everyone is the black kid basically, and there was no exclusions except for, you know, if you weren't black, I guess. So unfortunately. Oh, there you go. Do you eat meat? So that's basically, that's do you eat meat is the way, you know, to let another person know if you play Slay. So if someone says, do you eat meat, you either know what that means or you don't know what it means. If you don't know what it means, then you just, you know, move on. You just, most people answer yes or no. However, if the response back is, we meet at dawn, then they know that you are a Slay player, and it's like, hey, hey, all right, you know, let's get our game on. I'll see you in the game, you know. But I think this is my favorite book for 2020. I feel like I need to just quit. So that's it for my updates. I have to actually get back to reading Kingdom of Souls. I'm only on midway through chapter 6, so I need to hustle basically and eat at the same time, because I'm hungry. Sis is hungry. So I'm going to read and I'm going to eat, and then hopefully, if all goes well, I will come back with another update today. But that's all I have to say for now.